find this environment both challenging and exciting. Challenging because I think the shortest seminar I've ever given is 3 hours, and those of you who know me, I know I do like to talk, so that would be my challenge. The excitement comes from being able to give back, stuff I've learned over the last 8 years being a weight management consultant and an NLP practitioner. And I'm not exaggerating about the amount of time that I spend talking about this stuff, because I do whole days, where people come to a seminar and we completely get into them. I get into their head, they get involved in the whole process, and those days are amazing, because so much happens. But even a whole day is not enough at times to get to the root cause and to the bottom of some people's stuff, and they need ongoing support and ongoing delving into what forms their behaviours and what has formed their behaviours over years. Throwing yourself into it 100% is the best way, right? If any of you wanted to learn a foreign language, I think you'd all agree that the best way to learn a foreign language is go and live in the country of the language you wanted to learn. So getting involved and throwing yourself into it is a fantastic way of making that happen, and that's what my breakthrough days are all about. What I want you to take from this short video that I'm doing today is a couple of things. Make sure that you write down my Facebook page, which is GetMitched. You'll find it, and also my YouTube channel, which is GetMitched UK, where a lot of these videos will be uploaded so that you can visit them. So right now, I'm also aware that a lot of people that will be watching this will be one-to-one clients or one-to-one consultants, or the Cambridge Weight Plan as you might know it. So have you got a coffee? Have you had a wee? Have you done all that? Because this video will probably be 15-20 minutes, and I know you're smashing the water, right? So if you're not here for Cambridge Weight Plan, then grab yourself a coffee anyway and sit down. So why am I doing this? Why am I here? Well, firstly, I'm not here to motivate you. You've already got more than enough motivation that you've ever needed. Alright? The reason you're watching this video is because you're motivated to do something. So I'm not a motivation guy. If you really want to tick me off, ring me up, make an appointment, and when I say how can I help, you say to me, I'm here because I want to be motivated by you. Now, that's not to say that I won't give you motivation, or I won't give you a little bit of rah-rah, because that's part of what I do. But I'm not that. I'm a why guy. I want to know why you do the things that you do, and why you've behaved the way that you've behaved that has got you to a place that you think you haven't chosen, which that'll be a different video completely. But I want to know why you think the way you do. And I'm not here to show you how to make milkshakes and stuff either, because that's just not what this is about. Cambridge Weight Plan is a fantastic tool to drop in weight. How you use it is vitally important also. So, I'm not here to, I'm sure you already know how to make a milkshake. I'm sure you already know how to do all those things. So I'm here to find out why you've not done it in the past, or you've not succeeded yet. That's what I'm interested in. I want to know what drives you. And not 10 years ago. I want to know what drives you now, today. So, or are you running the same patterns you've been running for the last 10, 15 years? And I'll talk more about patterns in a different video also. So I'm also here to talk about emotions, because I believe emotions are the force that drives our lives. You might not think we do, but we all have great minds, and we all know what we're doing and what we're not doing. But it's connecting with the right emotion to use that fantastic mind of yours in a way that maybe you think isn't possible, but it is possible. And I want you to master your emotions, because when you master your emotions, you can do anything. I want you to become like effective leaders in your own destiny. And what do I mean by that? You might want to write this down. Effective leaders have the ability to consistently move themselves and others to action. And I think that's because they understand the invisible forces that move us. basically, I've had this obsession for 8 years trying to help people, and I don't mean shakes and lemon bars. I mean that this constant drive to find out what really makes a difference in people's lives. Well, what makes people tick? What makes people do amazing things? What makes people do amazingly destructive things? You know, and that's what I'm really interested in. You know, I get calls from bosses who have got sales teams that are struggling, and it's down to me to get in there and find out what it is that is driving their behaviours to make them believe that they're not good enough to sell that product. You know, it's not that they haven't got all the right tools, etc., to do it. It's just that there's something stopping them. There is a block, and it is my job to find out what that is. I also get a call from a panicking mum whose teenage son has said that he wants to kill himself, you know, and I got to get right in there and find out the root of the problem as quickly as possible and help with that, so that they don't perform the behaviour that is then the commit suicide, or that is the them putting themselves down so that they don't do their job or live. Now, why do I get that call? I get that call because I believe I understand human needs, and that's another video that I'm going to be putting up on this channel. And when I work with those people, I don't only want to know what makes them tick. I want to know what's going to make them do this and then be able to contribute themselves and give back to other people like I did. You know, and this is what I learned during my time doing Cambridge Weight Plan, but also studying NLP. I remember watching a video of Tony Robbins and him saying that there's 2 master life lessons, one being the science of achievement. So things like when you learn to drive, you know, when you first did that, it was clunky, right? It was like, God, I've got to mirror, signal and maneuver all at the same time. I've got to do the gears, I've got 10 to 2 or quarter to 3 or whatever the hell it is. Jesus, you know. But then what you did is you got the code, you know, from the instructor who told you how to do it, and you got the code and you repeated it over and over again until it's become second nature. Now it's like, okay, yeah, I'll be aiming in it, you know, and you're doing all this, and it's because it is second nature, and that's because you've repeated the code over and over again, and you've now got it. Well, that's science. And the second is the art of fulfillment, and it's the one that people don't master as often, and it's the one that is hugely important, and you can't feel it on your own, because part of it is about contribution and giving back. So like I say, it's not something you can feel on your own. How is it that you can give someone all the resources in the world, you know, all the right books, the right education, all the best computers, the love, the energy, everything in the world, and those are people that spend their time in and out of rehab? And then you get people on the other side of that scale who have had real pain in life, psychological, physical, emotional abuse, and yet often, and not always, but often, they're the people that contribute to our society more than most. Myself being inclusive in that I had some very horrible things happen to me, but without those things I wouldn't be here now doing this video, and I wouldn't have helped hundreds and hundreds of people with depression, anxiety, lack of self-esteem, weight problems, cocaine addiction, alcoholism, food addiction. Without my experiences that may be deemed as negative, I wouldn't be here giving back now. So how many of you didn't hit goal weight? You know, and what excuses did you give? What reasons did you give yourself for not doing it? You know, was it you didn't have enough time, you didn't have the money, you didn't have the energy, you didn't, you know, have a consultant nearby, or whatever it might be? But they're resources, and that's not the defining factor here. Because you can have all the right resources and still not succeed. But it's resourcefulness. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you want to get someone to do something for you, right, and you're playful enough, like if you've got kids and you're playful enough and you're enthusiastic enough and you throw enough energy at it, can you make people do things? Yes or no? I believe yes. So it is not resources that is the defining factor here. Being resourceful is the defining factor. Take me and my journey. Now, for those who don't know, I was 23 stone back in 2012, and I started my own particular Cambridge weight plan journey 8 years ago today. Now, I went to the doctor, not in a great place, and I said to him I didn't want to be here and that I couldn't see a way out, but maybe if I could get a grip of my weight, that other things would fall into place. So he booked me in with the what do you call it, dietitian, and I went to see her, and I thought, you've got to be honest, you've got to be real about this because you need help. And I sat there, and at 37 I cried and said, I don't want to be here, I want to die, I hate this, life's shit. And she said, can I just stop you for a second, because I've got 7 minutes with you and you've cried for 5, and I've got enough time to give you these Slimming World vouchers, and I haven't got another appointment for 6 months, but come back and let us know how you get on. My thought process then was, right, you've got 3 choices here, son. You can either take one of these antidepressants a day, which the doctor gave me, go to Slimming World, which I've already decided isn't going to work for me, and not because I don't think Slimming World works, but because I just didn't want to do that. I didn't want to sit in a room and discuss what I thought were deep-rooted issues around my diet. So I'd already decided that wasn't going to work for me. So option 2 was take the lot of the pills with the rest of the vodka I've got at home and have done with it. And then option 3, and I don't know why I thought of this, but I thought there's got to be someone out there. There's got to be someone who understands what I am going through. So I went home and I connected to YouTube, which is ironic. I didn't Google it. I YouTubed, and I literally typed in "fat fucker loses weight." Now, excuse my Anglo-Saxon, but that is what I put in. So, and this company kept coming up, a company called Dual Dynamics, and I watched this guy's videos. And if you haven't seen them, go and find them. Dual Dynamics. A guy called Lawrence Brown and Sharon Myrie, their partnership, who worked on people's lifestyle, etc. But he used a thing called the Cambridge Weight Plan. Now, I watched this guy live on YouTube go from 22.5 stone down to 14, and I thought, and he looked amazing, and he seemed to be having an amazing time doing it. And I just thought, I want to be him. I want to know what that feels like. And he's a human, and he's done it, so why wouldn't I be able to? So I messaged him, and I messaged him because I didn't want to talk to him, because I didn't want to talk to anybody. And you guys must understand that, because how many messages do I get late at night, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, where you're all lying awake worrying about this shit, but not actually wanting to speak to a human being about it because it's scary. And when I message you back immediately, I know some of you freak out because I wasn't expecting that, and now I've got to get on with it. So I contacted him. I texted him and said, look, I've been to see this consultant down in Birmingham-on-Sea. I told her I want to be 14.5 stone. She's told me to be real because I'm a big lad, and she didn't think that was possible, and to aim a little lower than that. And the phone went, and it was an international phone number, and I was like, that's somebody trying to sell me something. So I ignored it, but it wasn't. It was Lawrence, and he was on holiday in Thailand, and he took his time out of his holiday to come and phone me and say, that woman's talking shit. If you want to be 14.5 stone, there's no reason why you shouldn't be. In fact, I think you should be 10.5 stone. So I was like, whoa, man. But he just said, look, I'm back in the office Monday. I am going to call you Monday morning, and we are going to sort this shit out. And I was like blown away that this guy had taken his time out of his holiday for a start, but also they seem to give him monkeys. You seem to really give a shit about where I was at, and that blew me away. So Monday came, and the phone went. I was like buzzing. I was like a kid at Christmas. And I spoke to him. He's like, "Hi, Mitch, how are you? Da, da, da." Great, you know. And I got so excited by what he was telling me. He was talking to me about strategies, how to do it, and where I was going and what I was going to do. And I said, "Okay, yeah, great. I want to book in. Where are you?" And he said, "Brixton in London." And I was like, "Oh man, that's 3.5 hours up the road from where I live. Who does that? Who drives 3.5 hours up the road to get products that somebody already delivers to my door and to get weighed when she brings her scales with her?" And you know, that's just insane. So I ended the call going, "Look, mate, I really appreciate your time and you do inspire me, but that's just not possible." Now, I now know, and what I proved at the time was that wasn't true. But at the time I was like, I haven't got the time, I haven't got the money, I haven't got the headspace to drive all that way, and it's insane. Who does that? When really what I was saying was, is if I go and travel all this way and I commit to this guy who I've already said inspires me, then I'm going to have to do this, right? And that scared me, if I'm honest. Now, how did it come about? Well, I got a jog, a bolt, whatever you want to call it, in the fact that some of you will know me from singing in a band called the Communicators, and I was singing in that band back in 2012, and I got a call from a guy called Gary Bushell, who was a writer for the Daily Star, still is, I believe, but he was running a radio show and he wanted to interview me about the band. So I was like, yeah, great, when? And he said, Friday if possible. You know, slots come up, you know, can you do Friday? And I was like, well, it's Wednesday, that gives me a couple of days, but I'll have to go and see my boss because I was working at the time. Leave it with me, but I'll take the slot. So I went to my boss and I said, can I have Friday off? He said no, and I said, well, then I'm going to have to leave. This is really important to the band, and you know, either let me go or let me go. And he was like, really? I was like, yeah, really, it's that important and I'm going. And he went, whatever. So I phoned Gary Bushell back up and I said, right, Gal, yeah, no problem. Where are you? I'll be there Friday, where are you? And he said, Brixton in London. And I was like, and it hit me like a sledgehammer straight in the kisser, because I was like, you'll move mountains and you'll risk your job and your livelihood and everything else to go and do something for the band, but when it comes to you, you won't. What is that about? What is the matter with you? And it was this thing of, I'm going to have to do it if I commit to it. Now, I get people come in my office every day and I ask them what they want. And so let's say I'll get a lady come in, she's a size 24, 26. And I say, what do you want to be? What size do you want to be? And they say, I'll be happy being a 14, 16. I go, really? What is that then? And they get their back up and they say, look, because I am 26. Really? And I say, right, okay then, so if I could give you a magic pill today, you can wake up whatever size, weight in the morning, no stretch marks, no skin, you don't even have to diet, you can eat curry for breakfast every day if you want to, and drink as much as you like, but you could be that ideal size, what would it be? And most say 10, size 10, or they say size 10 or 12, because there's still edge in their beds. But they say a size 10. I go, okay, so why wouldn't you allow yourself to believe you can have that? Why wouldn't you? And I think it's this thing about, if I go out on a limb and I say I'm going to be a size 10, what if I don't get there? And that's a fear of failing. And that's where I was with Lawrence. I was like, if I travel all the way up there and say I'm going to do this, I better make damn sure I do. And I can remember having this chat with Lawrence about it. And he said, look, you're going to change the world. Which I found like highly amusing at the time. But he said, look, you're the first person to come to me from so far away. And when you do this, other people will look at it and go, wow, that's possible. All I got to do is go somewhere and see someone who inspires me and helps me with this. and you'll inspire people across the country to do so. And that did happen. Other people, people were coming from different countries to see Lawrence, and not just because of me and what I did, but they were going to see Lawrence because he was amazing in what he did, and was a pioneer, certainly for the one-to-one diet. He absolutely made being part of that Cambridge Weight Plan family fun, and you wanted to be in. And he also said to me, "Get your shirt off." I was like, "This is at 23 stone." I was like, "No way." And he went, "You'll change the world, man. Other guys will see you do this, and then when they see that after shot, when you're finished, they'll believe it's possible, because you're a human and you're real." And there was no, touch-ups. There was no fakery about it. I was real, So I was like, right, I'll go. Now, during this current climate, obviously, I've not been seeing Cambridge clients. People have been coming and they've been picking up stuff, but I haven't been able to have this because of social distancing, and that's okay. But that is going to change in the next 3 or 4 weeks, and I'm going to be able to see people again. And what I plan to do is to take up what my good friend Lawrence did and create vlogs for my clients, make it exciting, do photo shoots, help you get to the root cause of the problem that you have, and help you master your emotions so that you get to decide at the end of your weight management journey that you get to decide whether you keep it off or not, and whether you keep up those ongoing behaviours that assist in you keeping your weight down. And I want to do that. It's time for me to get really excited about helping you guys achieve your goals. And I want to do that. So if you want to work with someone who's interested in you, interested in your mind and why you have got to the place you're at, if you want to work with someone who's going to document your journey, not that you have to, but if that's what you want, and that was a big thing for me, then come see me. This is my phone number. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Come and find me on Facebook. Look for GetMitched. It's a page. And come and be a part of the fun that I'm going to have doing my job. And let me help you. There will be times where it'll seem like I don't care, that I'm not available, that I am leaving you to your own devices. But in those times, let me promise you now, and you can watch this video again, okay? But let me promise you now, what I am trying to do at that point is let you see what you can do. You can do, not what I tell you to do. I want you to work some of this stuff through yourself. I will help. I will show you doors, but you must walk through them, because when I am not here, you'll still be able to do this. And that is really, really important. That is the most important part of what I do. I'm going to do lots of videos for this channel, okay? One of them that I'm going to do is busting the myth of Cambridge Weight Plan or the one-to-one diet, and that is the myth surrounding VLCDs, which is a very low calorie diet. The problem with the myths that surround my industry, or that part of my industry, is that some of them are so dangerously true. There are so many people who put all their weight back on and more. There are so many people who do not follow the plan through to the end, and that is why it it doesn't work. Not because the plan doesn't work, but it's how you implement it. You know, and I am going to do a video on that. I'm going to explain why I believe people don't succeed in keeping their weight off. Now, like I say, I started my particular journey 8 years ago today. And I'm not 23 stone, right? So, is that because for the last 8 years I've done nothing but eat Cambridge? No, it is not. Is that to say that I've never had a Cambridge bar? That's not to say that either. I quite like them, but it's not my diet. So, look out for that video. If you are somebody who wants help with other forms of addiction, be it drugs, be it sex, be it alcohol, food addiction, but you don't want to get involved with the one-to-one diet, also you can contact me. Addiction's addiction at the end of the day, and I can help with that because I've been an addict of just about everything you can think of, and am no longer an addict of any sort. So let me help. Now, this video has been mainly about the one-to-one diet. There will be other videos that have nothing to do with the one-to-one diet. I just wanted to put this one out because this next year is going to be a real successful one for one-to-one dieters who decide they're going to come and do their journey with me. Now, I'm down in Somerset. Do not let mileage put you off. 3.5 hours I used to drive, and that mileage is actually really good for the brain. It gave me a chance to think about what I wasn't doing. It gave me a chance to divulge all the information I just got from Lawrence, and to go through it all and to work out what I was going to do over the next month before I saw him. Plan. So if you want to come and see me because you think I can help, don't put barriers in the way. Come and see me. I'm going to have a great year helping people, and I'm ready for that. Are you?